Wikipedia defines a spreadsheet as a computer application for computation, organization, analysis, and storage of data in a tabular form. Spreadsheets were originally developed as computerized representations of accounting ledger books, but they've become so much more. To get started, we're just going to go over a couple of key terms before we do a tour of Excel. Now, in Excel, a file is referred to as a workbook. So when you've done some work and you'll save that workbook somewhere in your computer or to a cloud drive so you can bring it back up later and work on it. I typically save files under the Documents folder, whether I use my OneDrive or my computer's hard drive. For this class, I recommend that you download the sample workbooks for each unit and save to a place that'll be easy for you to remember and get back to. Now that I'm looking at the Getting Started workbook that I downloaded, I want to open that up in Excel. So I'll just double click that and it'll open up Excel with that file. And I'm going to go ahead and maximize it to my screen. And this is that workbook. Now the next thing I want to tell you guys about is worksheets. If you look at the bottom of the workbook area, there's 5 tabs right now. In our class, each tab is going to represent a different lesson. So it's really easy to create new worksheet tabs. All you do is to the right, you'll see a plus button. You can click that. You see I got a new sheet. It just calls it sheet 1 or sheet 2 or sheet 3. I can also right click anywhere in the sheet area and insert a new worksheet. And getting rid of those is just as easy. I can right click and go to delete. There's a couple other things we can do with sheet tabs. We can move them around. So maybe if I wanted to take sheet 1 and put it in front of entering data, I could just click on it and drag it over to be entering data. I could click it all the way to the other end and bring it back over there. You can also color these worksheets, and I do this when I start getting a workbook that has a lot of sheets and I want to kind of keep more sense of them. So maybe on sheets that I have data, I'll turn that one green. And maybe if it's a worksheet that's a report, I'll make that blue. And then sometimes if I have a sheet that just has general information about the workbook, I'll make that black. And then again, we can just simply delete those when we're done using them. I can right click on it, and then I can just delete the rest of those sheet tabs. The last element we're going to talk about are cells. A cell is a basic building block. When you look at the screen, each one of the little rectangles is a cell. Now we can enter text, numbers, formulas, or whatever we want. It's pretty easy. You just click on a cell and start typing. Excel can quickly make simple formulas to add up values in rows or columns. And it can also make complex formulas for calculating sales projections, scientific equations, statistics. One last thing about cells, as we start building a spreadsheet, we're going to have a way to refer to our cells and formulas. This is called a cell's address. Just like your home address tells people where you live, a cell address does the same thing. And it's pretty easy to figure out. Whenever you're on a cell, look at the column it's in, which is G, and the row, 7. And the combination of those two make up the cell's address, G7. Well, that should do it for our initial terminology. Let's go ahead and move on and get a tour of the Excel interface.